All right, the final stop on the tour is some beer league softball in Brookhaven, New York. This is where Ray Appold, the dad of my two dear friends, Justin and Brendan, just won a nice beer league softball game. This was Americana at its very, very finest. And, you know, it reminded me of Kyle Juszczyk. And no, this is not a non sequitur. Kyle Juszczyk actually lives out here in Long Island, has a house in the off season. But the 49ers fullback just a few weeks ago, he went back to his home county, Medina County, outside of Cleveland in Ohio, to check out the field that they had named for him, Kyle Juszczyk Field. So he had a good Americana suburbia story there. Kyle Juszczyk dominated back in high school. I got to write a cool story about him and his rival, a guy named Chris Snook. They played some epic games on that field. And, you know, it just makes me appreciate whenever I'm out in a place that I think defines America so well, like Long Island, like right here.
Full of beers.
It reminds me to appreciate spots like this. And today, Ray is quite a character, had a couple hits. At first at-bat didn't go all that well. He fouled out, but then he lashed one at left field. Classic pull hitter, Ray Appold.
Oh, it's a hit!
And his team won by quite a few runs. Beer league softball at its very best. But we talk about Kyle Juszczyk. Well, you know, he's still under contract here for some time with the 49ers. He's so important to their team. Their splits on offense efficiency-wise are so much better when Juszczyk is on the field versus when he's off of it, because he really embodies everything that Kyle Shanahan wants out of an offensive weapon, right? You want a guy that can line up anywhere on the formation. I mean, you have about 10 snaps a year where Kyle Juszczyk lines up as an outside wide receiver. He's mainly at that fullback spot. He's at that H-back spot, some tight end, but he could be in the slot. That's where he primarily was when he played his football at Harvard, but he could even be out wide. And when you could do so many different things, the defense doesn't know if you're going to run, if you're going to pass, and they don't know what type of run or what type of pass you're going to deploy. So it gives Kyle Shanahan a tremendous play calling advantage. Obviously, you have to be competent, though, at all those spots, and Juszczyk is especially competent at blocking spatially. He can take on pass rushers, and he could take on linebackers and safeties on run blocks that other players just can't take on, because he's the perfect mix of size with that fullback stocky body and speed, because he's quicker than your typical fullback. There was a game in Cincinnati, week 2, 2019 season. 49ers blew out the Bengals. I think it was 41-17. Kyle Juszczyk crossed the formation on a play action, ended up being a touchdown, and took out Carlos Dunlap, who we know is a really good edge rusher. Normally, you know, fullbacks can't do that, and Kyle Juszczyk can do that. So this is a Kyle Juszczyk appreciation video, because we're talking about the 49ers future plans of the position. There's some ridiculous talk out there. Oh, they're going to let go of Kyle Juszczyk after this year because they don't have money to do it. Well, first, check yourself and realize how important this guy is to the 49ers offense. And two, of course, the 49ers always want to have a succession plan and a backup for Juszczyk, because Ross Dwelly, when he has to play fullback, is nowhere near as good, and the offense falls off significantly. But I think that backup and that potential succession plan for far down the road, hopefully, because you don't want to see anybody get hurt, but the only way I think Juszczyk is done early is if he gets hurt. But that succession plan for far down the road, that is Jack Coletto, the jackhammer. Could play so many different positions, and I think if he puts on a good 15 to 20 pounds, he could do some of the stuff that Juszczyk can. For now, put Coletto onto that practice squad if you're the 49ers. Let him develop and see if he could become your next Hokett, Josh Hokett, right? Who's now an MMA fighter. Josh Hokett, he was a versatile guy too out of Fresno State. But Kyle Juszczyk has just proven that he's got some staying power in this league, and rightfully so. I mean, the guy can play. And it just so happened that as I came out onto this field in Long Island, where Kyle Juszczyk lives in the off-season, I felt that he needed a video to give him some love. So did this softball team. Big win for the Bulls. I don't know how Ray got number 23, the Jordan number, 23 for the Bulls. But it was sure fun all the way up to the barbecue that happened after.
We have to get to the barbecue. That's the main thing that's coming up quickly. Then we get the beers, a team that barbecues together and drinks together. That's why we win together.
Big win for Ray's team. He's got the Jordan 23 with the Bulls. You were 2 for 3
yeah,
today,
baby.
right?
Yeah, we're 2 for 3, and the team is fighting for first place. We're close. We'll be there. When we play the other team is in first place, we're going to take it to them just like we did to this team.
Your first at-bat was disappointing. You fouled out, but then you made an adjustment. You had two nice hits, and that second one, what changed in between at bat 1 and 2?
Well, I'm out in front of it. I get too excited, and I have no patience. Even though my son is a doctor, I have no patience.
All right, congratulations.
Yeah, you know, we did invite the groundskeeper because he keeps these fields beautiful, and we see him driving around on his tractor all the time, and he looks hungry and thirsty, so we're going to do the right thing by him. And he may not go back to cutting the lawn after this. He's done for the day. Does this guy remind you of Rally Fingers with the stash or what? Wow, we lucked out on that one.